Breaking news out of Washington, D.C. on the Obama jobs bill. Senate Republicans tonight have just blocked the bill that would have given states money to pay for 400,000 teachers and first responders. The bill would have taxed millionaires 0.5% on earnings over $1 million. And the Republicans refused to allow the bill to go forward. The vote moments ago was 50-50. 10 short of the 60 votes needed to clear a Republican procedural roadblock. More obstruction in Washington, D.C., as millions of Americans are out of work. Joining me now is Ezra Klein of the Washington Post and MSNBC. Ezra, good to have you with us tonight. Just moments ago, the vote just took place. How will Republicans defend this vote? How do you see this?
Well, they'll keep doing what their general line has been, which is that they now say that the problem isn't deficit spending, because obviously the president is attempting to pay for his bills. They say the problem is that it is temporary, that we are doing temporary jobs measures, and that has failed in the past. And it's a very increasingly odd argument. We have a temporary jobs problem. Nobody thinks this is going to be permanent. And so one thing you do when you have a temporary break in the economy's capacity to create jobs is you give states money to not lay off more people, so you stop having this sort of public drag on the labor market. But that's been their argument, because frankly their old argument ended when the Democrats decided to begin paying for their bills.
Bottom line here, the Republicans rounded up just enough Democrats to kill this. It was 50-50. And the other thing is that where does this leave President Obama and the Democrats right now in trying to get jobs moving in this country? It's more obstruction.
Well, they can't pass the bills. I mean, even if all the Democrats had voted for the bill, it would not have passed, because the Republicans would have filibustered it to death. Yeah. But I would note one thing about the Democrats' strategy here, and I think it is something they're doing that is wise. They have not only voted on the full bill, on the $447 billion American Jobs Act, but then they moved to begin breaking it up. And the reason they're breaking it up is because if they break it up, they keep this conversation going for days or weeks or months. They keep the press, they keep folks like you and I talking about the jobs bill. So it doesn't just disappear or dissipate. It isn't just one speech a month or so ago or 2 months ago or whenever he introduced it. The Republicans have to keep defending it, and jobs remain in the news. So for the Democrats' political strategy, this is working out fine, because they're keeping control of the conversation. But as you say, so far as actually getting real people, real jobs, so long as the Senate can't move any legislation forward, nothing is happening.
This definitely is going to hurt education across the country, as those teachers are desperately needed. But politically, this is a winner for the Democrats. Polling is heavy for the Democrats and this issue across the country.
Yes, and if you talk to the White House, one thing they've seen recently, and it has not been true in any of their other stratagems over the last year, is they're seeing their numbers move. They're seeing their numbers on jobs move up. They're seeing the Republicans' numbers on jobs move down. The effort to keep this in front of people, to keep this conversation alive, has actually led to people looking at the Congress and saying those guys appear to be standing in the way of jobs, and the president and the Democrats appear to be trying to create them. One other point I'd make on that is that it's interesting to watch some of the Republicans' arguments sort of try to shift around this, because as you remember, Ed, one of the big things they've been saying is the problem is we have too much government, we have too much federal spending. We've lost about 500,000 public sector jobs over the last couple of years, and we've lost tons of public sector jobs this year. We've had almost straightforward private sector job growth, and we've lost public sector workers. Yeah. Nobody thinks the economy is doing well. So this idea that if we just shrink the public sector, we will recover has not worked. So this is the Democrats trying to move in a new direction, and it's not at all clear, really, why the Republicans don't want to go there.
Well, this is also another example of how the Republicans are worshiping at the altar of no taxes. The tax would have been 0.5% on all Americans who are making over $1 million a year, meaning they would not have been taxed on the first $1 million. It would have started on the first dollar after $1 million. 0.5%. So if you made $1.1 million a year gross, you'd be paying $500 to help pay for this. And the Republicans have said no. So 400,000 jobs down the drain tonight in America. MSNBC's Ezra Klein, thanks for your time. He was arrested for standing up for the working class and poor. Coming up, Dr. Cornel West will join me to talk about the 99% movement and much more. Stay tuned. And Rush Limbaugh says Democrats' real concern about rapists is that they still vote Democrat after being caught. Stay with us.